Thanks for having me.
What an interesting week it was of football. Basically looking at the top of the Absa Premiership League, we saw the swap between Sundowns and Kaizer Chiefs. But Kaizer Chiefs coach saying, no need to worry, we still have 5 more games to go. Your views on it?
I'm not sure there is no need to worry. I've always said that Kaizer Chiefs need to be wary of Mamelodi Sundowns. When Chiefs were at the top of the log with that huge point difference, I've always said that Sundowns were coming from a no-pressure position. The pressure, the focus was always on Kaizer Chiefs to actually maintain and sustain that point difference at the top of the log. And everyone started analyzing Kaizer Chiefs. And if you look at Kaizer Chiefs, they're very predictable. It was bound to come. They're very predictable. They don't play football. They chase goals. The only time you see Kaizer Chiefs is when they are deep in their half defending or in the last third of the field attacking. But there's nothing that happens or in the middle of the park. There's no creativity. They're very predictable. They rely on counter-attacks, break attacks, and set pieces. So they were bound to crack. Someone was bound to say, you know what, this is how to stop Chiefs, and Stuart Baxter did it.
Now, okay, let's now also look at Sundowns. I mean, you were saying they were not under pressure for much part of the season, and only now they've topped their league with few games to go. Do you think Pitso's boys have what it takes to handle the heat and maintain their position right there at the top?
They've hit form at the right time. I'm just not sure they actually went on top of the league, on top of the log at the right time with a few games to go. That could still give Kaizer Chiefs some time to recover. If you look at the remaining matches that Chiefs have to play, they've beaten all of those opponents in the first round. So now they have that kind of advantage. Whereas with Mamelodi Sundowns, on the other hand, with the remaining opponents, they've only managed to beat what you call Morocco Swallows. But no, you cannot discount the fact that they are on form. Teko Modise is controlling things. The experience that Surprise Morir has brought into the team has added a lot of oomph into... Speaking
of Teko Modise, many in South Africa actually have written him off, saying that, look, this guy, he had his chance, is now done. The general seems to have made a good comeback.
Yeah, I think I wonder how Pitso managed to sit him down and actually talk to him to get that kind of performance out of the guy.
But you remember that even when Pitso was the national coach, he still had that belief in him.
There seems to be some kind of an understanding between the two players, between Pitso and Teko.
Let's move to the Nedbank Cup.
Kaizer Chiefs obviously they're saying Teko has never won the league. We're not worried. Teko is in the Sundowns team, so they're not going to win the league.
Well, look, we just have 5 more games to go. But now let's talk about the Nedbank Cup. Again, it's the clash between the two cities, Tshwane and Johannesburg. Sundowns against Pirates later on this evening. How do you see that one coming out?
Look, there are 2 ways to look at this. Whether you want to take it out of the league context and say, look at the cup pedigree. And if you look at that, you could agree with Peter that Pirates have the edge over Mamelodi Sundowns because of their cup pedigree. And you look at Kaizer Chiefs as well, who will be playing against SuperSport United at the FNB. Chiefs have the cup pedigree. But I'm not quite sure you can actually divorce the league form from what we're going to see tonight. And Chiefs, like I said, they're very predictable. Stuart Baxter managed to stop them. They come back.
But then one will never actually get to agree with you saying that Chiefs is predictable because look, these are the defending champs of the Premiership title, and yet they are still standing a good chance to actually defend their title again this season. So this issue of Chiefs being predictable, I'm not sure I agree with you.
When Chiefs play against teams that can hold the ball, teams that can keep possession, talking about Platinum Stars, they always struggle against the likes of Platinum Stars. And I looked at SuperSport when they played that team from Tunisia. In the first half, they were very unlucky to make some defensive errors and lose that match. But Kevin Johnson is actually doing a good job in terms of getting the team to know how to retain the ball. And that's every time Chiefs come against opponents that are able to keep the ball, they struggle. And again, tonight, like I say, they have SuperSport United.
But SuperSport United, they are not one of those teams that you know to be playing what in our local terms call it Tiski 9-9, where you see them very creative and the likes. They play almost a similar type of football with what you saying Kaizer Chiefs is playing, going for the bowls.
That's something that Kevin Johnson, I think, is trying to change. That's the same mentality that Kevin Johnson managed to instill in the Platinum Stars team. That's why Platinum Stars is still giving Kaizer Chiefs problems. And I think he's doing a good job. Look at, what's his name? Tusupala's performance. That's why Kevin Johnson wanted to sign the likes of David Matebula because he wanted to play football. He didn't want to play the counter-attack system football.
Sipho Kekana, thanks a lot for your time, sir.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.